The story begins with a little girl named Marie welcoming her parents home. They say she must have been lonely all by herself, but Marie replies that she wasn't, because Rose was with her. They also ask if she behaved while they were away. She says she did, and her parents immediately show her what they brought back with them, a baby. It's Marie's little brother, Cheyenne. Marie can't help thinking that her brother is incredibly cute, so she kisses him on the cheek. The sudden kiss catches the baby by surprise, and Marie proudly introduces herself as his big sister. 3 years later, the siblings are racing each other. Of course, Marie is faster than Cheyenne, and she says it's only natural after all, she's his big sister. Their father then arrives home, and Cheyenne complains that his big sister has far too much energy. Their father laughs and says he can see that Marie is as energetic as ever. Marie says people often tell her she's as bright as the sun, just like the color of her hair. Their father replies that it's good to be home and tells Cheyenne that he looks as dependable as ever. Cheyenne immediately denies it, saying that Marie is the dependable one. Once again, Marie insists that it's only natural since she's his big sister. Still, she thinks to herself that Cheyenne actually is dependable. He's always helping their mother, and he says he doesn't wet the bed anymore. Sometimes he even gets a worried, grown-up look on his face. On the other hand, she's also caught him shouting things like fireball, thunderbolt, wind blast, and ice storm when he's alone, so she knows that even Cheyenne secretly plays pretend sometimes. During dinner, Cheyenne says there's something he wants to ask his father. Do monsters exist? His father answers that they do. That's why Cheyenne must never leave the property. He's sure Cheyenne's mother has already told him this, but monsters are dangerous and attack people. If Cheyenne were to encounter one, his life would be in danger. If he ever sees a monster, he must run away immediately and seek help from an adult. Cheyenne then asks his next question. Do things like fairies and spirits exist too? His father replies that they do. Well, to be precise, he doesn't know of any spirits, but fairies definitely exist. They're rare, so it's unlikely to ever meet one, but some traders specialize in obtaining them. Encouraged by these answers, Cheyenne asks the question that seems to matter most to him. He wants to know if magic exists in their world. He describes magic as the ability to create things like fire, water, and light out of nothing. His father, however, looks at him with genuine confusion, stating that he has never even heard the word magic before. Even when Cheyenne presses him, asking if it might just be a rare secret, his father insists that as a well-educated man, he would have heard of it if it were known to the public. He asks Cheyenne where he could have possibly learned such a strange word. Seeing her brother turn pale and fall into a silent state of shock, Marie asks if his stomach hurts, but Cheyenne simply claims he is fine. From that moment on, Cheyenne never speaks the word magic again, retreating into a quiet, studious life. Another 3 years go by, and the siblings' paths continue to diverge. Marie has dedicated herself to intense physical training, spending her days sweating in the sun as she practices her combat forms. When Cheyenne asks her why she pushes herself so hard, Marie gives her standard answer. She does it because she is his big sister. When he admits he doesn't understand the connection, she explains that she is training for the day something bad happens. She wants to be ready if monsters or villains ever appear because she has realized she has a natural talent for physical activity. Most importantly, she tells Cheyenne that she is doing all of this so that she can protect him. Cheyenne is moved by the realization that his sister's grueling daily routine is motivated entirely by her love for him. Marie admits that while she isn't the smartest person, she is good at the physical stuff and wants to ensure she is strong enough to help if he ever gets into trouble. Sometime later, Marie is practicing her sword swings by a lake while her friend Rose watches. Rose points out that Marie has been training all day and says she's surprised Marie doesn't get bored. In response, Marie asks Rose to spar with her. Of course, Rose refuses, using the excuse that she's exhausted from helping her grandfather. Rose then asks whether Cheyenne is still holed up in the house, spending every day studying like always. When Marie confirms it, Rose comments that the siblings are truly a study in contrasts. Meanwhile, Marie thinks to herself that Cheyenne's desperate need to study probably began the day he realized the world lacked the magic he was searching for. Just then, glowing balls of light mysteriously begin to rise from the surface of the lake, startling both girls. Later, hoping to lift his spirits, Marie leads Cheyenne to the lake as the day starts to fade. Cheyenne is nervous and reminds her that their mother warned them not to wander too far, but Marie reassures him that they're safe and that there are no monsters around. Their mother might get angry, but Marie is convinced this will be worth it. Just before sunset, beautiful orbs of light drift over the water. Marie doesn't know why it happens, only that it does. Cheyenne asks if their parents know about this, and Marie replies that they do. She brought them here as soon as she discovered it. Strangely, though, they couldn't see the lights. She admits she was a little worried that Cheyenne might not be able to see them either. Cheyenne wonders if it's only adults who can't see them, but Marie explains that some children can't see them either. It seems everyone perceives the lights differently. For her, they blink in and out, while some kids see them as solid, glowing spheres. It's incredibly mysterious, but also kind of like magic, isn't it? She reminds Cheyenne that he once talked about magic creating light and other things. It feels similar to that. Cheyenne is surprised that she remembers. Marie explains that her memory isn't great, but this was about her little brother. Of course she remembers. Besides, it was after that conversation that Cheyenne became so depressed. Overwhelmed, Cheyenne apologizes through his tears. Marie calls him hopeless and asks if he feels a little better now. He says he feels much better, and Marie is relieved. The next morning, the children finish breakfast in record time so they can rush to the lake. They arrive long before sunset because Cheyenne wants to investigate. First, he wants to find out where the orbs of light come from. Marie doesn't quite understand. Don't they come from the lake? Cheyenne agrees that's possible, but says they might also be coming from something living in the water. Without proper investigation, they'll never know what the lights really are. Marie doesn't fully follow his reasoning, but if Cheyenne says so, it must be right. She asks where they should start. Cheyenne explains that they'll fill the 3 buckets they brought with lake water. One will contain sand and rocks, another aquatic plants, and the last fish. While they're trying to catch a fish, Cheyenne says he's really glad his sister is there with him. Naturally, Marie replies that of course she is. She's his big sister. Why wouldn't she be with him? She had some free time and Cheyenne really wanted to do this. It's only natural that she help him. And if something like magic really does exist, she wants to see it too. Cheyenne says it would be wonderful if magic truly exists. If it does, Marie will be the first person he tells. That's a promise. Eventually, they manage to catch a trout and place it in one of the buckets. Soon after, Rose arrives at the lake and finally meets Marie's younger brother. Marie urges Cheyenne to say hello, and he does. Rose introduces herself dramatically as a solitary flower blooming in this desolate town, but Marie quickly drags her back down to earth, saying Rose is just an ordinary commoner putting on airs. Naturally, Rose gets angry, then asks what they're doing out here. Marie explains that Cheyenne knows about the orbs of light too. Realizing Rose is familiar with them, Cheyenne asks if she came because she's curious about the lights as well. Rose admits she did. They're beautiful, and she comes to see them sometimes. Cheyenne asks if she knows anything about what causes them or what they really are, but Rose says she simply enjoys watching them. She doesn't know anything more. As the lights begin to appear again, nothing happens in the buckets. Cheyenne says he tried to recreate the lake as closely as possible, then asks if there are other creatures living in the water besides trout. The girls agree there probably are many, but collecting all of them would be difficult. They don't even know how many different kinds might live there. In that case, Cheyenne decides to get into the lake himself. Marie doesn't hesitate and joins him. The first thing Cheyenne does is touch one of the lights. It's warm, slightly ticklish, and oddly pleasant. He then tries to look underwater, but the water is too murky to see anything clearly. Still, he learns one important thing. The lights are coming from something living underwater, possibly even a fish. It's not a plant. Whatever it is, it moves, because the points of light shift around. However, he still can't identify exactly what creature is producing them. Afterward, they climb out of the lake. Cheyenne takes the opportunity to thank Marie for her help, but she tells him there's no need. They're family. There's no need to thank each other for every little thing. Cheyenne insists anyway, saying that being family doesn't mean he should hold back his gratitude. Marie finally gives in and says that if he insists, then so be it. Just then, Rose announces that she caught something, a female trout. It's common to catch males, but females usually stay in deeper water, so they're rarely caught. However, since it's spawning season, they come closer to the shallows. Rose places the trout into the bucket with the other trout. The moment she does, orbs of light begin to emerge from the trout. At that instant, Cheyenne finally understands what's happening. It's courting behavior. The glowing orbs are part of the trout's courtship display. Marie doesn't know what courting behavior is, so she asks. Rose explains that it's how a male tells a female, in simple terms, let's marry and become a family. Marie immediately responds that in that case, she and Cheyenne don't need courtship behavior. They're already family. Then, she wonders aloud whether being a girl while Cheyenne is a boy means she'll eventually lay eggs. Cheyenne quickly corrects her, insisting that she won't lay eggs and that siblings can't get married. Marie asks why not. Doesn't Cheyenne love her? Cheyenne answers that he does love her. Marie brightens and says that if that's the case, then it's fine, because she loves him too. The next day, Marie tells Cheyenne that their mother scolded her. When Marie said she was going to marry Cheyenne, their mother responded exactly the same way Cheyenne had. Marie wonders if what she's saying is really so terrible. She just wants to be with Cheyenne forever. Cheyenne says he wants to be with her too, but that they don't need to get married for that. Marie argues that marriage is special, and if they don't marry each other, then someday they'll marry other people. If that happens, they won't be together anymore. Cheyenne replies that in that case, he simply won't get married. He'll stay with Marie. When Marie asks whether that would cause trouble for their father, Cheyenne says that if the issue is an heir, one can always be adopted. It wouldn't be easy, but he's serious. He wants to stay with her too. He may still be a child, but he isn't lying. If she wants, he'll swear it to her. Marie points out that what he just said carries an even heavier responsibility than promising to marry her. But Cheyenne says it doesn't feel heavy at all because she's important to him, so everything will be fine. They hug, and suddenly Cheyenne begins to glow. He thinks it might be magical energy. He had been watching the glowing orbs from the Trout's courtship display so closely that the phenomenon imprinted itself inside him without his realizing it. And saying he would never marry for Marie's sake, that was the greatest confession of all, wasn't it? Embarrassed by the thought, Marie storms out of the room. Left alone, Cheyenne reflects that magic doesn't exist in this world, not because it's impossible, but because the techniques known as magic haven't been invented yet. And in this world he has been reincarnated into, he decides he will create magic himself.